Welcome everyone to this talk about upskilling for return on investment. So let me start with a personal story. You will remember me as one of the business speakers who tried to get something to a talk. And many times my team members ask me, what are these? Well, I'm going to show you some shoes. The business speaker who got shoes to a talk. And these shoes are actually my marathon training shoes. What are these shoes about? What does they represent? The story goes to Edinburgh. A few years ago, I'm running this marathon. I'm really tired. I'm thinking, questioning myself, thinking there are better ways to die. What am I doing? And I see a lady running in front of me really well, really fast. And I'm actually questioning myself, saying, I should have trained better. She's better. Look at that, how fit and how great and so forth. Until something happened at the end. What did happen at the end? I learned a lesson the hard way. We had an ambulance show up at the finish line, and it was that lady. And I recognized, oh, she overtook me. She was really fit. She was doing really well. I finished. The ambulance was for her. What does that mean? Why am I sharing this story? I learned a lesson that the training is not really a reaction. It's something that you prepare in prevention. You don't wait for your doctor to tell you that if you don't do this training, you're going to have a cardiac arrest or something else. You don't go for a walk because you got an ultimatum from somebody. You do it because you want to be healthy. But we forget that as small business owners, as individuals, in general, we forget it. So let's see what can we do about that. When do we train? In fact, in the audience, before I started this talk, I was asking, when do we train? And we got some answers. Some people train when there is a crisis. If the customer is asking, do you have somebody who is qualified in project management? And somebody quickly goes and says, I need somebody qualified in project management. There is another time. I have no work for a team member. There is downtime. And I say, why don't you go and do some training? Downtime? Really? The funniest one, but always happens, and you will find a lot of companies, and I really respect them, compliance training. And we are Ofsted rated, by the way. I keep losing my hair every time we do compliance. We do training because we have to. Somebody told us to. If you don't do this training, you will lose your license, you will not be able to do your business and so forth. And the worst one is when, especially small businesses, they go and say, you do the training yourself. They ask the team member to do it. Believe it or not, in fact, we have somebody in the audience right now. The team member will do the training, but they might leave the company. They might be looking for a new job. They might be going somewhere else. So it's not really the safest way. Now, we are all small businesses, but are we really small? I'm going to share all these slides with you so that you have these numbers. Small businesses as a total employ nearly 17 million people. Can you believe that? 17 million people are being employed by small businesses in the UK alone. And we generate 2.8 trillion turnover with a T. That's not small. I think small businesses have the revenue of a small company, but the problems of a big company. And they need training even more, but they may not have the resources, which is why I'm talking, how do we do training and get your money back, get your investment, get your return on investment, so that it's worth it and not just for compliance, for downtime and so forth. Small is powerful. So I have some numbers in front of you. Like I mentioned, I'm going to share all these slides. Any place you see a crowded slide, you will get that in your email if you share your email address. Now 62, 37, 37. PricewaterhouseCoopers has done a study. 62% of team members are facing issues where with the fast changing technology, they say we need more training and it could help. 37% of them have actually asked for this training from their management. Now here the other 37 is a coincidence, but a really good coincidence. 37% of companies you meet here, they're telling they would rather train somebody than hire a new person. It's really, really useful to train somebody. So as training companies and as small businesses, don't you think things are about to match? And let's put some more substance into this. We as small businesses could be in a blind spot. We are in a problem, we may not know it, or probably we are so busy running our business that we don't know how to fix it. You're already paying for not training. You're already paying for not training someone. It's like you're already going towards a bad heart condition by not eating healthy to start with. Team members start making mistakes, including ourselves, when you are undertrained. Miss turnover, you miss a lot of business when there is less training. You don't grow when there is no training. Innovation goes down. And because of this, people say, you know what, I don't understand why I should invest in training my team member or training myself, or not just go on YouTube and do this for free, because they don't see the return on investment on this actual effort that is going on. I hope we're not like this guy. 63 billion with a B is lost per year in the UK because of digital skills alone. Just digital skills cost 63 billion. And every time a small business is replacing a team member, 25,000 is the cost per annum. And believe me, I run a small business with 20 plus members. It's the real number can be more. And if you miss 2 or 3 employees in the same year, you can close down because you don't have the cash flow in order to manage this if people are coming and going, and a bunch of it is going to the recruiter. Instead, if you do preventive training, we can keep some of that. The real problem is being reactive. Waiting to train can cost you way, way, way more. Let's understand. I claim, and I have figures behind it, I'll share the slides. For every pound spent in training, you can get back 4 pounds, 300% return on investment. For every pound spent on training. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, I don't intend to be, but the return on investment formula is very simple. You look at the benefits of the training and look at the cost, divide it by the cost and multiply by 100. As simple as that. But let me put some more substance into it, because many times the team members understand, the tech team members understand some training, but probably the people team members may not. So let's put that into perspective. When you train your people, you don't just fill gaps, you are growing sales, reducing absence, keeping your best talent. And believe me, I know this from experience. When you have happy team members, you have happy customers. We are not just thinking about team members, our customers are happier when our team members are happier. Sometimes the customers can pay for this training. Why? Mainly because the customer is benefiting from a better team member who understands better cyber, better AI, better data, better project management. Customers are happy to fund part of it. All you have to do is ask. And I am talking from experience that they agree, because it's from their own experience. Remember, when you pay less, you might pay twice or even more. In fact, we run skills boot camps, and many of them are 90 to 100% funded. The local government funds it. Sometimes people ask me, is it a scam? No, the local government, somebody is paying for it. Now, all team members can actually train for a small business. Everybody in the team can train for a total cost less than the cost of an apprentice. Imagine that. We think training is a big cost. I'm not a big company. If you hire an apprentice, they cost you way more than if you train all your employees to upgrade themselves. Isn't that powerful? And there are ways to do it. Imagine how the training companies can be helping you. And this data is from Publicis Sapient, Microsoft, and sometimes people say, oh, these are all digital companies, technology companies. I have put Shahi Exports. They're a manufacturing company. I have put a data company. All sorts of company are benefiting from training, 300% plus. So coming back to the return on investment, when you're doing these calculations, look at all the benefits that are coming, look at all the cost divided by the cost and multiply by 100. And you will definitely see some members in the audience were asking what's the average percentage is going 3x, it's going 4x and so forth. So training is not really a cost, it's a capital shift perspective. And you're really multiplying talent without multiplying the headcount. Now I have a formula. From this, you understood the ROI, there is a benefit, it all sounds good and so forth. How do I implement this? We implement this using the GROW model. The G stands for gaps, the skills gaps. We have a skills gaps tool. You will get that in the QR. And you can actually understand where am I really doing the training. It's like, should I go for a walk or should I go for a run or should I do breathing for my physical health? Because everything is dependent on the condition. It depends on where the gap lies. If my gap lies in my sleep, walk may or may not be the best thing. I have to ask and I have to understand where is the real gap. R stands for relevance. Many trainings are failing because companies are shoving the wrong training to the wrong person. They're saying, oh, you got to go and do this training. Somebody has told us to do this training. Unless we have this many CPD hours, we cannot do this. No, please be relevant to the training. If the person, their work, their values is matching the training, you can link it directly to measurable outcomes. If not, the return on investment suffers because it's not relevant. O is operationalization. I have seen many trainings, we just say, here is the training, go and do it. How do you use it in day-to-day operations? If I learn something this morning, can I use it tomorrow? Can I use it in my operations? If I don't use it in my operations, we can't benefit. And W is make it a winning culture. Recognize people who are doing this training. Don't tell them of saying, oh my gosh, you are absent again because you are out there training. I think you are wasting time. The customer, well, that person is investing their time in the company. Create a winning culture where they will be the first one to adopt AI, first one to adopt cyber, first one to do data and so forth. Unless the leaders do it, we cannot do it. So I'll skip through looking at time, but this is available as a tool for free and you can scan this and we will share this with all of you. Brilliant. I'll just move on for a bit just because I got a signal that my time is coming up. But remember to keep it relevant, relevant, relevant. If it is not relevant, you cannot measure the productivity change. Moving on, and I spoke about G, R, O, and W. I'll quickly go on to see operational. Actually, these are real examples. With every skills bootcamp that we do, we create a real project that is pitched in front of judges. Unless you make it something that can be created, operated, and created a winning culture out of it, nobody is going to learn anything. They will forget what they learned next Monday. Make learning the DNA of growth. Have some learning champions. Recognize people who are trying to learn. Ask them to explain it to somebody. One of the best ways to understand something is to explain it to someone else. Reward that. Don't punish people for going to training. Don't punish people indirectly by saying that why did you waste your time, or oh, this tool can actually help you. Share these micro success stories. It's not about winning the Nobel Prize. Micro success stories actually make these quick wins go across teams. So upskilling is very, very human. Even if you're doing it for AI, cyber data, upskilling, training is very, very human. I have spoken to business owners, parents, individuals. You got to keep learning. If you don't keep learning, you don't grow. So, 3 moves. As a leader, we are all leaders in one way or the other. We are leaders in life, we're leaders in business. 1 hour of strategic learning. Think, what can I learn next? What can my team member learn next? One growth day in your company. Many founders actually feel nervous leaving the business to do some training. They're constantly on the business. Can you take some time out to focus on what AI is doing, from cyber is doing, data is doing, project management is doing, and soft skill, communication, conflict management, time management, and so forth. Okay? One skill gap that you want to fill up. Okay? Something micro. Convert it to a project. If you don't convert it to action, everything else is glorified slideshows. It's not really helping. So it's not really, really hard to upskill and train. If you align it, if you target it, it gives you the return on investment. It does not give you return on investment when you spray and pray. Now these shoes, they really remind me. I'm ending this again. The business speaker who came here to show his shoes to you. I have run a number of steps, number of miles with this, but one thing is there, that it's all about preparation. It's all about being preventive. It's not about being reactive. So growth comes from preparation, not panic. Really, nothing comes from panic. So scale up to scale up. Use us, scan us, partner with us. And with this, you will not just get back one time money back, 2 time money back, on average, 300% money back. Thank you for listening. I'm open to questions.
Step8Up Academy. Turn crisis into opportunity through upskilling. Join us today.